Okay, so we'll go ahead and turn the slides off now. Lieutenant Wisman's going to come up and help me, and we're going to do a Don Doff class. So if you watch this demonstration, should take about 10 minutes or so. And we're going to have a lieutenant doing it, so it should be fairly entertaining. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate with one of the old suits that we have. So we're going to use a topper in the negative pressure mode with the filter on it. We're going to use one of the Tychem suits. So like this, notice it doesn't have hands, but it does have feet in it. We're going to use these orange overboots. And then there's a pair of gloves that we use. So depending on what position you're in, the JS list, if you remember what that looks like, I think just about all of us have worn that before, but it has pants at the bottom with suspenders that go over. And then there's a jacket that goes over, kind of like this one with no gloves, and a hood that goes over your mask. So typically we talk about mop levels. So there's mop level 0, which is you have the equipment with you and it's carried. You have mop level 1, which is just wearing the suit. There's mop level 2, which is the suit and the boots on. And then there's mop level 3, where you're wearing the mask. And then mop level 4 is where you put the gloves on and have everything on. So we'll kind of go through that process. You know, being a C2 and working at a headquarters, we're not supposed to intentionally go in the hot zone. So we most likely would be in mop level 0 and just have it available if the wind really shifted or something like that. If there was more of a threat, if the wind was changing a lot, or it was rapidly changing scenario, we would probably put out higher mop levels. So right now, he's putting on this suit with the JS list. Typically, we have overboots, and you would wear your boots with those overboots. With this type suit that he's putting on right now, you want to take your boots off because it's a tighter fitting suit. So typically you want to have a buddy kind of partner up when you're putting the suit on. So there's different sizes of suits. You want to make sure you have the appropriate size. Usually there's a size chart. Go ahead and talk a little bit. So right now he's in mop level 1. Most likely we would be in mop level 2 because you can't really wear these type suits around without your boots on, although you can with a mop suit. So typically you want to have a chair nearby so that they can sit down or they can use the chair for balance. The boots on. There's a flap that goes over the boots. So he's pulling the flap up. There's little tabs that go around each side. So this suit, you want to pull the cuff down over the boots, and the same with the JS list. So with the JS list, if you put the overboots on, you want to pull the pants down over the boots, And then there's two Velcro flaps that you use to tighten up on. Okay, so now he's at mop level 2. So mop level 3 is the mask. So whenever you put the mask on, remember you always want to put it on and you want to clear and seal the mask. So remember with the M50 mask, you want to hold the outlet on the front first and blow out. It gets all the bad air out. And then the intake is through the filters. You want to cover up the filters and suck it in.
What is this?
Yeah.
Anything
So this one has a, normally we wouldn't have this on here. There's a little water cover, so if you're doing decon. So we cleared the air out of the mask, and then you check the seal by covering up the filter inlet and suck it in, and you should feel a tight seal around the mask. So with this suit, typically you want to make sure that the hood goes up over the mask. It comes down and it doesn't cover any of the functional parts of the mask, like any of the filters or the inlet or the outlet. And you want to make sure it doesn't cover your eyes. But you also want to make sure that there's no space up here. Like sometimes you'll see people put it on and you can see their forehead through there, and that's bad. So we did a good job of putting it on. You always want to have a buddy check because he can't see up there. With the JS list, there's a bungee cord that you tighten. So there's two toggles, you pull them tight, it's a barrel lock. And then the two ends of the barrel lock click together. And then you tie a bow around that so that you can untie it later. So that's how you do it with the JS list. He's doing okay. So that's mop level 3. And then typically at the end, you want to put gloves on. So there's both a left and a right-handed glove. Sometimes there's various different ways you can do it. This is the most simple way. Sometimes there's a cotton glove that goes underneath that absorbs sweat, makes it more comfortable. You can also wear different types of gloves, like surgical gloves, for added protection underneath. Okay. So this is mop 4. Okay. So now for the JS list, when you put it on, there's a top and a bottom. There is a bungee that goes around the bottom. It has a loop in the back, and it's got a little strap with a snap on the front. And you want to reach down and grab the bungee from between your legs, bring it up, and then put the snap around it, and it holds the jacket down. Okay, so that's an important part of the JS list. So that's how you don it. So now for doffing it or taking it off, typically the way we do it in the HRF is you'll have a deliberate decon lane set up. So if you remember, there's a liquid control line and then a vapor control line. This will be the clean side. This will be the dirty side. And typically there's attendants there that are showing you how. So you go through the decon back here. So they'll wash you off. They'll have brushes. They'll take your equipment. They'll be hosing you off. And so once you get up to the liquid control line, typically there's going to be a rail here, something to hold on to. Typically there's a basin that you'll step into that has an absorption material in there to take all the dirty stuff off your boots. And as you go up here, the attendant will help you or the person behind you will help you. And so even though you've gone through decon, you want to try not to touch the outside of your suit with your clean hands. When you have your gloves on, you can touch the outside. Once you take your gloves off, you only want to touch the inside of your suit. Okay, so that's kind of how you go through it. And you really want to just do what the attendants tell you to do. Typically, there will be a person in a suit here telling you what to do. And then as you go through the vapor control line, there will be somebody that isn't in a suit out here that will be helping you get out of your mask in the last part of it. So as you come up here, you'll have taken all your equipment off and handed it off. Like if you're wearing a popper, typically there's something here to clip your suit to. But what we're going to do first is basically go through and unzip your suit. If you have tape on your mask, we're going to go through the untaping process. So if there's tape up here, we take it off. We're going to loosen everything and undo everything. So it's things like if there's, you know, the bungees up here, we would undo and unclip. We're going to do things like pull your boots up and undo all your laces. And either you can do this yourself. Now I would be in a suit right now going through all this. So we're going to undo the zipper without touching his clean inside. All the way down. If there's any cups or anything, we want to undo those. And basically, we're going to start rolling the suit down. So typically, we put a fist on the back of his head, and we're going to basically pull it back. And we want to roll everything back. And he's going to be kind of in the ski jumper position. And as we're pulling it down, we're going to try and grab his gloves at the same time and pull them out. Okay, and now that his clean hands are out, he can help by touching the inside of the suit, but he doesn't want to touch the outside of the suit. So he can kind of help. I'm just touching the dirty outside. And once he gets down to the boots, notice he still has his mask on. And this is the liquid control line. He's going to step across that as he takes his boot off and step into that area. So now there's another attendant on the other side. So mostly he just has his mask on. So he's going to come over here. Now pretend like I'm the clean guy and I'm not wearing the suit. So his mask was inside of his suit, so he can reach up and loosen his thing. I'm going to hold his mask in place so he keeps a good seal. Okay. He's going to take a deep breath. And he's going to step across the vapor control line. Okay. Then I'm going to hand this over to the equipment decon, and he's going to come over here and he's going to head to medical monitoring. And by the time he's done with that, we should have deconned his equipment and we'll have it available to give back to him. And that's it for the Don Doff. Does anybody have any questions or anything to add? All right, there's lots of different techniques and ways to do that. The most important thing is to try to keep the clean stuff clean and the dirty stuff dirty, and basically follow what the attendant tells you to do. All right, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.